Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Healthy Moving Podcast, the show that empowers you to exercise less, but move more so you will feel better. I am your healthy moving enthusiast, Jen Hoffman from healthymoving.com. I am so excited to be back, and I have a new co-host who's likely to grunt and coo in the background. Yep, my third kiddo made his debut about a month ago, and we're doing great and excited to be back in the podcast booth, also known as my closet. Today, I'm going to give you a self-care plan to keep you from sliding downhill these last few months of the year, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. For the longest time, I had this not-so-great annual tradition I want to tell you about. It starts in the dark hours of Halloween. The kids are in bed, and their candy stash calls my name. After I pilfer through it looking for the miniature Snickers, the ritual begins. The annual downhill slide of my health that happens from Halloween through January 1st. I move less and eat more. Little aches and pains begin to crop up. At the time of the year when I have more to do than ever, my energy just tanks. I don't sleep enough, and the sleep I do get is restless and fitful. All of this leaves me feeling not so great. And guess what? When I don't feel great, I can't show up for life in the way I want to. I have a short fuse and snap at my kids. I work more but get less done because my creativity and productivity are in the tanker. I numb out with junk foods and excessive screen time. I lose my mind-body connection and I begin to feel lousy about my body. All of this has me heading into the new year with a major uphill battle just to get back to the firm ground I was on in September. I want to enjoy the holiday season, and I want my people to enjoy being around me. So I learned a couple years ago that I have to be very intentional about my self-care routine these last few months of the year. And on the off chance that I'm not the only one who rides this downhill slide at the end of the year, I thought I'd share it with you. The key to my self-care routine are these things I call feelings check-ins. I do these with my coaching program members, and I hear all the time about how simple and powerful people find them. You see, our bodies are sending us signals all day long, little messages letting us know exactly what our body needs. The problem is, most of us have grown accustomed to ignoring those signals. It's kind of like how a kid watching TV can just zone out in front of the tube and they don't even hear their parents talking to them from just a few feet away. That's how we are with our bodies. We're so disconnected that we're not hearing the signals they're sending us. That's what these feelings check-ins are for, to reestablish our mind-body connection. I like to do 5 of them a day. You might want to start with just 3, but set an alarm on your phone. Personally, I have one for 9, 12, 3, 6, and 9 p.m. When the alarm goes off, you just do a quick body scan. I usually start at my head and work my way down to my toes. After I do a physical scan, I also name the emotions I'm feeling in the moment. Happy, sad, afraid, grateful, whatever it is. For the first week or 2, just stop with that. Just do the check-in. Don't worry about even trying to respond. Begin by listening. Now, I have to give you a word of caution. Sometimes when I do these check-ins, I find something negative. In fact, I might discover pain, either physical or mental, that's just uncomfortable to pay attention to. I love the way author Miriam Greenspan looks at these uncomfortable feelings. She says instead of thinking of them as bad, she suggests using the term dark, because it conjures up this image of fertile, dark soil from which something unexpected can bloom. That's what all these dark sensations and feelings are. They're the beginning of something amazing. So when you feel them, don't numb out or run away. Resist the temptation to turn to your Facebook feed or your secret sugar stash. Lean into them. Okay, so after you've spent a week or 2 in this listening mode, cultivating an awareness of what is currently going on with your body, Then it's time to get curious and experiment with responding to the signals that you hear. This is where you learn to decipher the messages your body's sending you. It's not unlike learning a new language. It's just a physical language. Let me give you an example of how this works. I did a quick feelings check-in before I started recording this podcast. I discovered that I've got quite a lot of neck and shoulder tension going on right now. After I found it, I responded with one of my favorite shoulder stretches. It's the arms of eagle pose, or Garudasana in yoga. As I did the stretch, I started to think about what might be creating that tension, and I immediately thought about some of the positions I've used for nursing my newborn. And I made a mental note to just be a little bit more intentional about those. And all of that happened in about 3 minutes. The body scan, the stretch, and the mental musing about where the tension was coming from. And guess what? That neck and shoulder tension, if I ignored it, if I missed the signal, it would likely turn into a headache. And that's just what happens. We ignore the quiet, early signals, so our body has to start screaming. And when it gets to that point, it's much harder to right the ship. These short check-ins allow us to discover the little things before they become the big things. And this is the key to maintaining our health, to feeling great in our bodies. When you're in the early stages of learning how to respond to your body's little requests, I suggest you approach it in this way. Start just by picking one exercise, something that's designed to restore a muscle to its optimal length or strength, or maybe something to develop a new, healthier motor program. And then practice that one exercise at each of your 5 daily check-ins. So choose, for example, the calf stretch. Then at each check-in you do on that day, do your body scan and then the calf stretch. The next day, pick a new exercise. Focusing on just one exercise a day is going to allow you to develop those new motor programs, but it's also going to allow you to think about what you're doing all day long that might be contributing to the problem. Working intentionally in this way, it will strengthen your mind-body connection, and eventually you'll naturally begin to hear your body all day long and know exactly how to respond to its signals, its little requests for attention and movement. Now you're probably wondering, what are the exercises that I should be doing at these check-ins? How do I get started? I want to help you there. I'm going to be on Periscope at least once a week through the end of the year for some Ask Me Anything sessions. Join me there. I'm at Healthy Moving, and you just show up with what you're finding when you do your check-in. Neck tension, back pain, abdominal cramps, stress, whatever it is. You bring that, and I'll bring my favorite exercises for responding to those signals. Of course, I also have to mention that I have an entire program that teaches you how to respond to all of your body signals, from the feet to the head and everything in between. And if you're ready to dive in and learn how to give your body this movement that it's asking for, the movement that it needs for health and wellness, the movement that you need to feel amazing, check out all the information on the program at healthymoving.com/coaching. I have a new challenge starting on October 18th, and I would love to have you join me for it. Friends, this self-care plan helps us to improve the way we're moving all day long. When we move more and in healthy alignment throughout the day, we use more muscles all day long, so we get healthy muscle tone and improved metabolism. We improve our blood flow, so our hearts are happy. And we increase our lymphatic flow, so we get improved waste removal. All of these things help us feel better and improve our health, right down to the cellular level. Let's finish this year strong and head into 2016 feeling amazing. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Don't forget, register to join me for the upcoming challenge at healthymoving.com/coaching. And don't forget to find me on Periscope at Healthy Moving. If you have a question you'd like me to answer on a future episode, you can call me at 201-580-MOVE, or you can click the Leave Me a Message link in the show notes at healthymovingpodcast.com. As a way of saying thanks, if I use your question on a future episode, I'll send you a little something in the mail. I would love your feedback on the show. Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you're enjoying the show, share it with your friends. There's links over at healthymovingpodcast.com to make spreading the word super easy for you. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, friends, keep moving.